Lots of demonstrators, protesters, of course, lots of Trump supporters, tens of thousands, and lawmakers too.
Yeah, we watched them fill into the National Mall, and we've been talking to them and also to Washington's lawmakers. Senators, keep in mind, did not have the day off. Right after the congressional luncheon, which followed President Trump's speech, senators went right back into session, and I want to show you some video new tonight. They began voting on the first confirmation votes. The first nominee to be confirmed to Trump's cabinet, retired General James Mattis, a Washington State native himself from Pullman. That is Trump's defense secretary pick. Trump's pick for Homeland Security also confirmed tonight in a late vote. And as we've heard, President Trump wants to get straight to work on his agenda right away. But of course, now he has to work with Congress, both Republicans and Democrats here. So I talked to Washington Senator Maria Cantwell this afternoon about her thoughts and specifically what she thought about President Trump's speech today.
I thought maybe he would be more unifying, a little more talking in a way and tone that was about bringing people together. I think it was kind of throwing down the gauntlet a little bit on certain areas, and those weren't exactly my favorite aspects of his speech. And I think from a Northwest perspective, you know, there's a lot of things that people are wondering about, and so we'll see how it plays out now that he's president. See what else they're going to do today. Some people think he's going to issue executive orders on environmental issues that they might roll back, things of that nature. So let's just see. But I do wish he would have talked about the environment and the climate, and you know how we need to work together on new technologies of that area. He did mention space, so I guess I should be glad that he at least talked about one of the drivers of our economy.
Senator Patty Murray last night, or yesterday I should say, she expressed uncertainty about what lies ahead. And note that this is a new tweet of her today. She wore pink in support of Planned Parenthood, she says, to send a message to the president today. Now, on the Republican side, there is much more optimism and enthusiasm. I want to share some quotes from Congressman Dave Reichert of Washington's 8th District. His statement says in part, President Trump has offered a fresh start and new beginning, committed to focusing on everyday American families and bringing people together. And Washington Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers, the number 4 ranking Republican in the U.S. House, she said this is a positive disruption Americans have been waiting for, and now we're ready to make America great again. We shared some of our interview with Congresswoman McMorris Rodgers yesterday. She noted that Trump, according to the transition team, has a 200-day plan that they plan to get to work on very aggressively. That includes health care reform, tax reform. Of course, the big topic here right now is the repeal of the Affordable Care Act, and that is a political battle that will continue to unfold as this new administration takes office and gets to work.
Back to work right away.